Hello, people, and welcome to Judge Mo. So, Arsenal have won the game with a clean sheet against Brighton in the cup. They are on to the quarterfinal of the Champions League. But the journalists keep doing the agenda thing about the way they play. They didn't score set pieces against Brighton the other day when they won the game. But there's still questions about the style of play. Do Arsenal create enough, even though they had 10 changes? I'm going to show you today how the agenda is being exposed against the style of play and the way they play. But also, I'm going to show you a couple of clips. Scott Parker, when he was asked a question, he really exposed the agenda against Arsenal. Of course, lead judges on AFTV said something that is absolutely spot on about Arsenal and the team this season that is so different than the seasons before. Jamie O'Hara was absolutely exposed and these lies, and the way he is so scared that Arsenal will win the league, that everything is gonna just come flashing at him, of course. And also, you gotta talk about the Arsenal perfect, as I call it, the perfect October for Arsenal and what happened. But before we go on and show you all of this and talk about it, as usual, this is Footy Judge Mo. This is our channel, also your channel. With your help, we can get to 50,000 subscribers. We're past 45,000 with your help. The like button underneath that looks like thumbs up underneath the video actually helps the channel massively. Go to the next viewer and the new viewer, it helps this video. Also, if you're new here, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. It looks like a bell that actually tells you when we go live or we release a new video. And also, at the same time, a comment goes a long way. Every comment underneath the video will tell YouTube there is interaction and it will push it to new viewers. So let me know also, I'm going to ask you some questions. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think about what I'm about to say. How do you analyze things and how would you respond to things that are being said in the media, of course. And let's get right into it. As usual, as normal, let's get right into what Scott Parker said. The Burnley manager that plays Arsenal in 2 days or 1 day, depending on when you're watching this, have said about the team that he's about to face.
What do you make of the wider discussion about the way that Arsenal are doing it? Very structured, very reliant on being defensively sound. They've incurred a little bit of criticism for perhaps not being as expansive as others might want them to be, but they're doing it in a very kind of particular, defined way, isn't it, stylistically?
Before he answers, I wanted to get your opinion. How cheeky that question is about Arsenal. Again, the media is pushing defensive way. How do Arsenal play against the lowest blocks in the league? And we're still questioning if Arsenal are a defensive team, you know? This is the agenda I'm talking about. And the media are listening to this. What is defensive? What is how are you defensive if you have one of the highest position percentages in the league? If you play against the lowest block, if your defensive line is the highest in the league, yeah, people call them defensive. You know what? Understand? If they call Arsenal more in control, the team is very in control. That defensive thing is absolutely shambolic. But let's hear what Scott Parker completely destroy the narrative.
I'm not sure I see it like that. When I'm watching them, to be honest with you, I see a fluid team, really. I see an unbelievably well-coached team, a team that solves situations, and of course there's a large element, or not a large element, there's one of many elements. I wouldn't say this is definitely not a team that just rely on set plays. Now, obviously, over the course of the last start of this season, there's been key moments where they've got wins from set plays. This is a well-oiled team and a functional team that are very fluid in the way they play, really. And defensively, like you say, is really a foundation. It was probably something we lived by last year, really. Gives you a bedrock. And they've certainly formed that. But yeah, for me, like I said, this is a top team and a well-coached team.
Exactly what I was about to say. They are actually being solid defensively. It doesn't mean that they are a defensive team. That means they are a team that knows how to stop the opposition, right? He completely destroyed the argument. And he's a top coach, Scott Parker. He's one of the coaches in the Premier League. And him talking about Arsenal, I haven't seen one coach, to be honest with you, and I'm going to ask you guys a question. I haven't seen any coach that actually call Arsenal a defensive team or that, other than the likes of the Man City, Pep Guardiola sometimes, on honest lot, which is the teams that are actually in contention with the league for Arsenal. But all the other coaches, when they talk about Arsenal, they say they're a very hard team to play, they're well structured, they're a very fluid team, they pass the ball around, it is very hard to dispossess them. This is the praise, right? The top of the league today, And I'm going to show you something. Arsenal have just broken a record, actually. That actually no one is talking about enough. Arsenal have had the perfect October when they have not conceded a goal. There is no team that has spent. That's what the Premier League have reported, actually. There is no team that actually have not conceded a goal in a month ever. They played 6 games and they won every game without conceding a goal. That is ridiculous. How many goals they scored? 5, 9, 10, 12 nil in the month of October. Yeah, people say they are a defensive team. How are they winning a 4-0 when teams open up? How are they winning when teams open up against them? And that is what people don't understand. You know what I mean? So that is the agenda. Another record broken for Arsenal and Arteta. The perfect month, I call it. And everyone wants to be like Arsenal, but they also want to talk bad about them, which is so strange to me, to be honest with you. It's very strange when we actually see the agenda against Arsenal. Let me know, guys, what you guys think, to be honest. If you're a rival, if you're an Arsenal fan, make sure to, number one, make sure to like the video. It goes a long way, as I said. Make out to check out OK Jersey, actually below. That we're actually looking at this now. It's very, very good, affordable football shirts. Use the code JUDGE to actually get your discount from there. Very, very affordable, £15 to £20, of course, depending on the delivery and where you are, and actually if you get vintage or not. Very, very good ones. So check them out. They're the sponsor of this video. And let me know in the comment section what you guys think about this. But let's actually now listen to what. This is one of the times that I actually have to agree very much with Lee Judges about what he says in FTV. This is one of the things that Arsenal haven't had for a long time. So let's actually hear. It's a very short video, and I want to hear what you guys think about this video and what he says, because it is absolutely spot on.
I hated that when you know, someone would come up on us, oh, Arsenal have been bullied. I hated that. Like,
and we used to get bullied.
And you have a look at any team that wins a league, they're never bullied. No other team that's won a league has ever been bullied. They're the ones that bully. And I think that's something that you've got to do. And that is another thing, is you go to these teams that are, you know.
Do you agree, guys, before we continue? I want you guys, if you remember, tell me one team that actually won the league being nice in the league. You know what I mean by nice? The team that are like they're just good in the ball. They don't do the dark art. They don't do any of these things. Let me know if there is a team. If there is none, just let me know in the comment section. Let's continue, because this is very important point that he's going to raise.
Know that you're better than them, you know, they're fifth from bottom, and you do that. You turn them over. Even in the past, we've not been able to do that, like, because we haven't had that still, yeah, that little bit of, dare I say it, nastiness.
Yeah.
I think like you got to have it, but I think that we got that little bit of nastiness now, that little bit of steel, that little bit of backboniness that says, you know what, we're if you tough it out against, we're happy to tough it out. You know, you look back at the Invincibles and the teams that won the league. Patrick Vieira, Sol Campbell, Thierry Henry. You know what I mean? Like the players you couldn't bully. You couldn't bully Arsenal. Like Tony Adams, you know, back in the day, like Stevie Bold, like, you know, these players couldn't be bullied.
He's absolutely spot on about this, actually, which is something that I wanted to mention. The likes of Gabriel, you think that Miles Lewis-Skelly has the dog in him currently. You look at Saliba, you look at Timber has the dog in him. Eucharist is not getting bullied. Declan Rice currently is one of them people, you know what I mean? And I like this about Arsenal, as long as they are not actually, like, you don't hurt the opposition. So Arsenal, they're not looking to injure people or hurt people, but if you want to tough it out with them, they will give it back. You know, there is a difference, and there is a difference between someone that is nasty and hurt others and someone that is just fight back. And I think that's what Arsenal do. You know, the majority of the teams that won the league have this thing in them when they're not nice to you. On the pitch, you are my enemy. And that is, I think, what Arsenal has this year. And it starts from the back. It starts from the likes of David Raya, Gabriel. And that is what I wanted to actually share. There is another one that I want to share with you. But before we go on, this Jamie Hart, this is a funny one that I'm going to actually share with you guys. What Jamie Hart being called out, actually, on the stream, on the Sky Sports, of course. But before we go on, guys, I want to actually get your opinion on something about Arsenal. Do we think that there will be a title race this season in the Premier League? Do we think there will be someone in the title race with them? Do we think Liverpool will actually come back? Do we think City will come back? I want to know, honestly, do people think Man United have it in them? Maybe people think Bournemouth can stay in that race? I'm not sure, because I'm still waiting to see how Man City come out of the next 3 games. Of course, Bournemouth, Liverpool, and Newcastle. That is what I would judge, actually, if there will be a title race, or Arsenal maybe will win it at Kanta. We actually need to wait and see what is going on with the other teams as well. Will Liverpool come back? Will they sack Arne Slot? We actually don't know. But let's see how Jamie O'Hara got called out, and let's comment on it. Guys, make sure to like the video if you're here, and let's actually hear Jamie O'Hara being called out, and he's actually scared of this. It's actually a funny video.
Yeah, I mean, look, yeah. I like to have a bit of fun with Arsenal fans. You can wind them up, and they can be a bit boring. But, you know, set pieces we've seen this season, they're a massive part of the game. They've always been a massive part of the game. And Arsenal are the best at them. Do I think they're thrilling to watch? No, because I think they could destroy teams.
If you're an Arsenal fan, you would love to see your team in control. I get his point, and I'm going to be completely honest. I get his point. If Arsenal are passing the ball around and doing a lot of things because the opposition are sitting deep or anything, for some the neutrals, it might not be fun. But if you're an Arsenal fan, you'd love to be in control, and you are in control. I get part of what he's saying, of course, but the problem is about what he's going to say in the next part.
Teams more with the players that they've got and the style of football they can play, but they do sit in and they are quite boring.
Who sit in? Arsenal never sit in. They never defend deep. Arsenal are always on the front foot. Why is he lying? That's what I don't know. Why does he say they sit in? They don't sit in.
Boring to watch, but they don't concede. They don't concede a goal. Like last night, they go 1-0 up. I'm like, they're through. You know, like, and they're playing Brighton. But Brighton didn't really look like scoring apart from the first 10 minutes. But as soon as Arsenal get their noses in front, they're just so good defensively, so organised as a group of players. And no matter who comes in, that's instilled in them now. So, yeah, look, it's hard to watch in terms of being a Spurs fan, but you have to respect what they're doing as a club right now.
100% you have to respect what Arsenal are doing by now. 100%. If you got to look at this Arsenal team and you look what Arteta built yesterday, and depending on when you're watching this, yesterday or 2 days ago, depending on when are you watching this, Arsenal have actually changed 10 players from the starting 11, including the goalkeeper, and still looked good and still looked great. And that is what people don't realize. The Arsenal have still looked very good after changing a lot of players. The clean sheet, Kepa looked good, Mosquera, Hincapia looked good. And that is part of how Arsenal are actually building. And people are going to keep hating on Arsenal. You got to be honest with yourself. People are going to keep hating on the team. People are going to keep hating on this well-oiled machine of Arsenal, even if they win it. You got to accept it. You got to, like, just inject it to yourself if you're an Arsenal fan and just live with it. Just pray that you win the league this season. Otherwise, it's going to be a never-ending story with the media, of course, for Arsenal. But listen, the record is there. It was absolutely brilliant, actually, record. It's a perfect record, especially winning against Fulham away, Atletico Madrid, Crystal Palace, Brighton. And these are the teams that now Arsenal, in this run, Arsenal haven't won against Fulham last season, haven't won against West Ham, didn't win against Crystal Palace. And these are 3 teams that Arsenal didn't win against, including Man United in the beginning of the season. And that is the moving forward from Arsenal. Of course, if you are here, hit that like button. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think. Make sure to check them out, okjersey.com. I will see you guys on the next video, and we're out of here, people.